So, I have a little bit of a confession to make. I have never finished an island in Animal Crossing. In fact, I have never even gotten close to finishing an island in Animal Crossing. I spend so much time making items and making videos that I just kind of never really made an island, and it never really interested me that much because, honestly, I'm not very good at design. But recently, I started making items that I could use more so in decorating for things that I just thought would be interesting. So today, I thought it would be kind of cool to use some of these items to sort of make my own little area that nobody else really can have. So this is going to be a little bit more of a chill video, you know, we're just going to be building, not really making any mods or doing anything like that. So let's go ahead and get started with what I'm thinking. So first off, what I have in mind is I want this area down here to be like an actual vineyard. So I've got a grape item, this eggplant cow, which is actually just grapes on a little trellis. So I'm thinking have a lot of those down here, and then you can walk up here and there's sort of a restaurant up here, sort of like a deck, something like that. That's kind of what I have in mind. So I think in total I made 4 or 5 items that fit this sort of winery theme. So it's the grape thing that you see there in the back. There is a wine cabinet, a stack of wine bottles, a wine distillery bottle, which, I mean, you'll see all of this stuff. I plan on using them all in the build, but just to kind of let you guys know what we're looking at. And then, of course, I'm going to be like sprinkling in, or maybe even using a lot of the regular items in the game. Just something, you know, this is more to accentuate everything else as opposed to having the mods be the main focus. This is more so just a way to make me design. I definitely want to use these bistro tables because they look really nice. I think they would look very good up here. And then I've also got these wine cabinets that I made, which I want to put somewhere. I'm just not sure where. The issue is, if they're not facing forward, you can't really tell that they're supposed to be wine cabinets. So I need to have them facing forward somehow. And then I've got some barrels that I made that have a wine glass and some grapes on them. I think that'll make it look kind of cool. Have these kind of scattered throughout different areas. Also, you may have noticed my little terraforming square that I made so that I can make it a little bit easier to see like where I'm about to terraform. It makes things a little bit easier. It's not perfect, but it does help. I guess I need to put chairs in there somewhere. Oh yeah, that fits for sure. I think it may be a little bit goofy. I'm thinking about putting a little like observation thing here. I forget what they're called, but those like kind of binocular looking things so that you can sort of look down on the vineyard and get a closer look, maybe something like that. You'll notice with a lot of these items, I'm supposed to be talking about mods, I keep forgetting about it, but with a lot of these items, they're more so just combined versions of already existing items. So like the barrel, for example, you see back there, it's got, you know, a wine glass that's already in the game. It's got those grapes, which those grapes are already an item. And then it's got a couple wine bottles. And basically all I did was just combine them so that they would all mesh together and make a new item, essentially. This as well. This is Nook's Crannies unupgraded, like, cabinet in the back. And I added in like the wine glasses and changed the boxes on top. Well, changed the logo on the box on the top and all that. I wanted stuff to look like it could all fit together, so that was really the only way that I could do it, since I'm not like a 3D modeler or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know, depending on how well this turns out, I may end up trying to do some more stuff like this, because I make mods that couldn't really be featured in a full video. Like, there's no way to have a full video about them, but if I kind of just make a bunch of mods, a bunch of small things, and then design with them, I think that could lead to, you know, better results and stuff like that in terms of videos. You know, it's interesting to see, since I've been doing modding videos for a little while now, obviously a lot more YouTubers, as I'm sure you've noticed if you watch other YouTubers, they've started doing a lot more modding content because that's what's popular right now, and it's interesting to see the reaction. Yeah, I've made the modding stuff for long enough that people are obviously used to me doing mods, so they're not like upset about it or anything like that, but I have seen a lot of the other YouTubers that have kind of hopped on to modding recently. They've gotten a little bit of backlash for it, which I kind of understand and I kind of don't. They've been through the ringer a little bit. Some people don't want to see their content change to just modding stuff, which it's probably not going to be just modding stuff. That's what's popular right now, and that's what they want to make. But I can understand people being frustrated that all of their favorite creators now are just like, I'm going to make modding videos, and that's it. Oh, I forgot I have streetlights. Okay, yeah, let me put a couple streetlights. I think that'll be good. I think that there are a lot of people upset, I guess, that modding exists in general. I obviously I've been doing modding stuff, like that's what my main stuff has been. So I don't think people feel that certain type of way about my stuff because they know what they're getting into. So I get whenever they would be upset or taken aback by another one of the content creators that they watch that's making just, or before was making just normal type stuff, and now they're making videos about modding and showing off mods and things like that, because they do feel a little bit left out or people feel left out whenever they aren't able to do anything with mods, and if all the content creators that you watch are now not making regular videos and instead they're saying, oh, well, here's a mod that you can download. I can understand where frustration comes from that. I think obviously the other side of that is it's not your content. The people are making it, hopefully the YouTuber's making it for themselves as opposed to making it for their audience. Like, you can post the videos for your audience, but you should be making the content for yourself. So if that's what they're interested in making, I think it's wrong to say, hey, you shouldn't be posting this because I can't do anything with it. That's my mindset, and that's what I try to do with my videos. I can understand why some people would disagree with that, but for me, it's always just been interesting, the backlash that some of my fellow content creators are getting for just even just discussing mods. It's a little weird. I do wonder the state of channels and particularly this channel in the future with modding getting so popular, because before, obviously, I could fly under the radar. I had, obviously a decent following, and I'm thankful for it, but with mods and stuff blowing up, I think it's going to be hard for Nintendo to turn a blind eye to that type of stuff, because so many more people, especially on Twitter, are posting about it, reposting it, making videos about it. I think eventually Nintendo is going to have to do something about it, because it is against their terms of service. They're well within their right to take down videos of that type of stuff. You're not allowed to mod, but it's such a harmless thing that typically they don't do too much about it. They sometimes do, but not often. Like, obviously piracy is the big deal whenever it comes to hacking and stuff. That's why they don't like hacking of consoles, is mainly because of the piracy or cheating in games. But with modding, it's mostly harmless. You're just, changing textures or doing stuff like that. So I don't think they care that much, but it is still against their rules. So I think with it getting so popular, they're probably going to start taking stuff down. That's just my guess. They're probably going to start taking stuff down or taking it a little bit more seriously, which is a little bit scary, because that's what this whole channel is about. And that's a little bit why I've tried to sprinkle in some more videos that's not specifically about modding. I also want to say thank you guys so much for the great reception on my AliExpress video, because that was a huge risk to take, in the sense that I pretty much only post modding videos, and then to post something that has literally nothing to do with mods and, still have people watch and have people say that they enjoyed it and everything was really great. And it made me feel like, I'm not trapped specifically only in modding. I love trying out new formats and new different things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's just how it is. I'm not upset if people don't like a certain type of video. I'll post pretty much whatever I want, and if people like it, great. If they don't like it, they don't watch it. My mindset is, it's my channel. I'm going to post what I think I should be posting, or sometimes not even what I think I should be posting, but just what I feel like posting, which is once again where I think it kind of comes into the whole YouTubers putting out modding videos things, is if that's what's interesting them and that's where they want their channel to go, then sure, it is. I think it's a fad right now. So it's going to get views and people are excited about it at the moment, and that's probably going to die off fairly quickly, because things die off and get popular super quick just with the internet. So, they're enjoying they're getting what they need to get right now, and it's reinvigorating their spark for the game, which is great, and it's reinvigorating a lot of people's spark for the game. I'm sure, for every person that is upset that the mods exist, there's however many people that went and picked up Animal Crossing and were like, well, you know what, I can't do mods, but I am at least inspired to do something. Okay, I went ahead and switched it over to daytime. It was getting a little bit hard to see for a second. I think I want to move the podium over to this side. I think it would make more sense on this side. And then another thing that I had in mind was have this like dessert counter kind of blocking it in almost. Yeah, that looks really nice. So that adds a little bit more to the feeling that it's a cafe or something like that. I still feel like this area is a little lacking. It feels like something is missing. I think I had another street light. I must have picked it up. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna use is what is arguably the best item in the game, which is these plain party light arches. They just look so nice. They add so much. I think if I ever designed a full island, these things would be like everywhere because I don't know, they look super nice. They really, I mean, that really fills out a ton of space already. Like I might even just be fine with how that looks. What I think I want to do is have a distillery barrel up here because I have a couple of like distillery barrels that I want to throw throughout that I did as a custom item. So I want to see how that looks. My only worry with stuff like this is that it gets too like overcrowded, but I don't think that's too overcrowded for that. I might, instead of that, I think I'm gonna put another plant somewhere. Yeah, so I'll just add this little bit of greenery, which I think will make things a little bit nicer to look at instead of another like brown barrel. Okay, yeah, that adds, that little bit of green adds a lot, I think. So I'm pretty happy with how it looks up here. I guess I should probably move down. I don't know exactly what I want to do down there yet, but I'm happy with how it looks up here. So I've got a pathway laid out, and I also put some party lights over here as like an entrance. So this is, I'm thinking have a vineyard in this dirt area, at least have the grape items in this dirt area, and then this is a pathway that you take to get up to the restaurant area, quote unquote. Obviously, I don't want it to get too overcrowded in the back, but I also don't want it to like not have enough space back there, if that makes sense. Once again, I think I'm going to use the party arch just in the back here to sort of light it up while you're walking through. I think that'll look cool. Actually, I think what I'll do, I'm going to put the topiaries it's sort of blocking things off in between here. So I'll have topiaries and then maybe hedges in between go across here and then have some stuff back in this area. Yeah, so that wine cabinet, I think will look good here in this corner. It would make sense in this corner. Doing stuff like this really makes me appreciate that people design whole islands like this without having to spawn in certain items and stuff like that, because it's been super easy just being able to say, oh, I want this item, let me spawn it in real quick. If I had to go, say, on Nookazon or a treasure island or something like that and get every single item that I just think of that I'm like, oh, well, this would look good back here, that would be so bad. I would hate having to do that. Is this giving off winery vibes to anybody? I think it looks pretty nice. This looks like somewhere that I wouldn't mind visiting, go on a little, just a little trip. You get to walk through, see the winery, and then see some other stuff. Let's see if I'll be able to fit this. This is really how people design, like, you just have a certain area that you want to put something in, so you have to figure out how it'll fit, so you pick stuff up, move stuff around, because if so, I don't think I want to do too much designing. I mean, honestly, I've kind of had fun doing some designing like this. Like I said, I very rarely ever do any designing, so it's nice to do something different. Now, am I any good at it? Who knows? I think I'll probably stick mostly to modding, but I don't think this looks too bad. The hardest part about this game is trying to figure out, like, you see an item, or you've seen items before, and you really want them, but then you have to know what they're called to be able to figure them out, like, to put them anywhere. I just found out that thing that I'm thinking of is called the Tourist Telescope, which makes sense. I understand why it's called that, but I figured it would be called, like, Viewfinder or Binoculars or something like that. So that would be good right there, and then I'll place a bench right here. Should I do it? I think I'm gonna do it. Another plain party lights arch. Listen, you just have to have the plain party lights arch, and I think I'll also put down some of these floor lights. I keep saying that I'm gonna use the floor lights, and I never do. Honestly, I think I'm pretty much happy with how this looks. It's pretty cool overall. So, you make your way on in. We can just imagine that there was something back there that we walked into. But so you walk through the vineyard, right? You've got the actual grapes and stuff. They're growing sort of close to you. And then you've got grapes all in the back. You can see we've got our distillery barrel, and then we're putting stuff in the cabinets and everything like that. You've got some wine on some barrels everywhere. You can make your way through. You walk up. You can get seated over here. They've got the dessert case, all the wine in the back that maybe you can buy on your way out or something like that. Then, you go get seated. You can sit kind of overlooking where everything is. I guess I can't really get back there. There are some issues with the grapes. I don't know why they're having that texture issue where they're glowing a little bit. I apologize for that. But yeah, man, overall, I'm pretty happy with how this build turned out. I'm not a designer. This is the best that I can do, but really, it's nice to just have an area on my island that has something going on, because I'm getting too used to like nothing in the area, and it gets a little boring to walk around it. So it's nice to have something to look at. If you guys want to see me do some more stuff like this, feel free to let me know. I'd be down to do it. I'm just not sure how entertaining this video really was. I don't know how people typically do design videos. But yeah, other than that, I appreciate you guys making it this far, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, whatever that is.